YTPC, what's going on? Mark VV here to say hi. I'm not going to do Padres intro again. I don't want to totally steal everything away from him. That's just a mess with him. But 2 days in a row? What? I told you I had more time on my hands. Wasn't kidding. Yeah, this coffee's getting a little cold, so I'm trying to suck it down before it totally gets cold. Anyway, yeah. So I had something to talk about, so I figured I'd go ahead and just turn on the camera and talk about it. A little impromptu, but I do have like a little first impressions kind of deal as well for you. But that's also what I'm talking about. The tobacco that I'm going to be referring to in just a minute is the one I'm going to be smoking and talking about at the same time. But yeah, so Padre, this is another Padre-centric video. Not really, not at all actually. But Padre Piper had posted was it a tweet, I believe, about 2 weeks ago, and some of y'all probably saw it, probably responded to it, it was simply a special edition tobaccos, are they worth it kind of thing, and like he had like a special edition tobaccos ... kind of thing, and the two options were totally worth it and like totally hype, overhyped, or not worth your time kind of thing. And that got me, of course, I did comment on the video, shared my thoughts on that. And that's what this video is, essentially a verbalization of that comment, but more extrapolated, of course. And most of this circles around a particular tobacco, the one I'll be smoking, called The Beast. I should have started off with the little blurb on here, because that would have been fun, but I'll do it now. Legend has it that Aleister Crowley, famed adept of the Order of the Golden Dawn and founder of the Ordo Templi Orientis, is purported to have made a habit of smoking rum-soaked perique as a meditative aid, which is true. Apparently, that's what he certainly did that. To date, many a dabbler has pursued his own manifestation of this concoction out of sheer curiosity. We have too. In the spirit of the nefarious occultist himself, he was a warlock. He practiced witchcraft, essentially. We sought to tame the beast within our own rendering of the recipe, soaked for 7 days in the spice drum, so we might share our vision of it with the most inquisitive and brave of pipe smokers. The Beast. Small batch. 1506 of 2,500 tins. So it was very limited. I believe they brought it out for the first time last year. Sold out pretty quickly. And they brought it out in about 2 weeks ago, and it sold out within hours. And unsurprisingly to me, because that's just how they do it, the whole concept of special edition tobaccos and small batch stuff is something that has been absolutely popularized by one company and one company alone, Cornell and Deal. Before that, people had special edition tobaccos. It wasn't like they didn't exist, but they were so few and far between, and they were truly very special. Cornell and Deal seems to have a penchant for releasing a tobacco for literally anything and calling it a special edition. And this, again, is no exception, because I don't even know what this is for. Like, I don't know if there's like a reason for them to bring this out, like time-wise. I don't know if there's something going on in March that, maybe occult-wise that I'm not really familiar with. But they, of course, did one for St. Patrick's Day. They do like a bunch of different tins for Christmas. I believe this year they had like, or 2020, they had like 8 different tins, one for like every one of the reindeer. And then I'm sure they bring out something for, I think they have some ones they do for Halloween, but it's with another company that I think it was like a joint effort. But yeah, Cornell and Deal tends to do these little small batch and special edition tobaccos on the regular, like at least a couple times a year. And so you gotta wonder, is it worth it? Or is it just hype? And my answer to that is a little bit of both. Is that fair? The predominant answer for the Twitter poll was totally overhyped. Like people, my answer, of course, was they are worth it. But there is a huge hype factor that goes into it. That sells all of them out relatively quickly within a day. The beast notwithstanding, every other one sells out pretty quickly too. Now, with the St. Patrick's Day one, it's attached to a pipe, so it doesn't sell out nearly as quickly. But eventually, they're going to get rid of all of it, I'm sure. They probably didn't make a whole lot of tins of that because they know it's being attached to a pipe. Probably not going to sell that much. The Christmas ones, the year before last, they found, we found a special, Santa left a special pallet with all these tobaccos and we're going to sell them as is, individually, even though we linked it to a deal earlier saying it was the only way you get the tobaccos, total market crap. And my smokingpipes.com opinion has been lessened over the past couple of years because of that kind of stuff. Their marketing team is, I feel, somewhat out of sync with the consumer, at least the true aficionados and enthusiasts of the hobby. And they've become a little more like pipes and cigars. Not so much, but sales have clearly become a more important thing to them. Now, Cornell and Deal is a separate company, but I don't think they're owned by La DC. I think, from what I understand, they are a separate entity. But they do a lot of their sales through smoking pipes, and they do a lot of their collaborations with smoking pipes in mind. So there is a sense to me that Smoking Pipes says, hey, look, why don't you do a special edition? We can market the crap out of it. It's going to sell. Now, of course, tobaccopipes.com, I believe, carries some of the blends as well. So it's not an exclusivity thing, but it definitely is something that's driven by sales, and probably, I would think, La DC, as a conglomerate, has a big influence on what tobacco manufacturers do. Because let's face it, they are the largest premium pipe tobacco company that exists, as far as I know. General cigar companies, I don't know if they may even own La DC, who knows, but General Cigar Company, they do have a large presence as well, but I think they're more on the cigar side, whereas La DC is more on the pipe tobacco side in this instance. So, to the matter at hand, are special edition tobaccos worth it? When it comes to Cornell and Deal, even though they are a dime a dozen when it comes to special editions, I do believe all of their tobaccos are worth your time. I think this is a great concept. I think on paper it sounds amazing. They're using probably St. James Perique in this, so I can't imagine it's going to be bad. It does sound like a powerhouse, right? It does sound like it's going to kick you in the butt, being all that Perique. But I've heard the reviews I've heard of this have been very glowing, as far as like it's not as spicy or as powerful as people are, as they kind of expect it or touted up to be. Anyway, my point being is that I really think they put a lot of care and thought into their special editions, and their tobacco quality is really high. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad idea to try to grab them if you can. But their marketing is driven by smoking pipes and La DC, and they have a real knack for selling everything. Like they're gonna sell this out. I mean, there's no chance they're not gonna sell this. And I think part of it is scarcity, driven by the FDA. Also, the pandemic didn't help anything. I mean, toilet paper, you just say toilet paper, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Scarcity drives demand. And so with this worry that tobacco and special tobacco and small batch and premium tobacco is on the defensive against the FDA, and that it might disappear forever, because you hear that a lot. And me and a few other people have very strong thoughts on whether or not that's actually just market-driven hype. I don't think premium tobacco is going anywhere, at least not anytime soon, and it's certainly not going to be because of the FDA. I think there's some money in people's pockets, especially with the cigar industry, with the cigarette industry, with the vaping industry, which encroached a little too much on big cigars and cigarettes and stuff like that. So they're on the defensive, and so they're coming up with ideas to generate more interest in actual product as opposed to vaping. Anyway, so going back to the topic at hand, special edition tobaccos are one of these things that are totally driven by scarcity and hype. And hey, they know how to make money, they know how to market it, so you can't really fault them for wanting to make a buck. I really can't fault them for that. But my problem is that there is too much focus on the investment side of things when they market to consumers. Because if they were truly interested in letting as many pipe smokers get their hands on a particular tobacco as possible, they would limit the tin sales. And I truly believe when you limit the tin sale to like 10 tins, the majority of consumers are not going to want to buy that much. But you will have people that will buy 10 at a time on like a daily basis until it runs out, to either resell or put back, and given the scarcity epidemic, potentially sell later. So there is this overemphasis on people that want to make a buck, and the best way to do that is to collect these tobaccos and sell them later, right? Which I don't think is necessarily going to pan out well for a lot of people, but for some people, yeah. I mean, if it was like a McClellan blend, of course. I mean, but I don't think Cornell and Deal is going anywhere. I don't think they're going to be ain't there no more anytime soon. So the resellability of some of the special editions, especially if they keep coming out with them, is fairly low. But of course, they're marketing on the fact that, this blend might disappear next year because of the FDA. Who knows? And so these tins sell out so quickly because of the tin limit of 10. Should be lower. Should be like 3, in my opinion. 3 per account would be the way I would go with that. And then you would have, more people would be able to get their hands on it. More people would be able to try it, and there wouldn't be such an emphasis on sales. But again, it's a money-making machine, and so special edition tobacco, small batch stuff. Totally worth it. Grab it if you can. Is it hype? Is it overhyped? Yes. Yes, very much so. So a little bit of both. There's my thoughts on that. A little bit of a ramble, sorry. I'm not going to do a tin opening now. Maybe I'll do another video for that, specifically for the Beast, because I'm excited to open this and try it, because it is not open. And I do want to smoke some. But those are my thoughts. Share if you agree or don't agree. I don't know how accurate I am in what I'm thinking as far as the companies that are involved and what the end game is. But again, money is king, sales are king, and that's what keeps people in business. That's what keeps them going, especially with a small company, like a niche company of a niche industry. They got to make a buck. So I understand, and I'm not mad about it. I'm more mad about the like these things they do where they attach a tin to a pipe. That bugs the crap out of me, because I know if they don't sell all the tins, they're just going to throw them up after for sale, because they've done that in the past. And my mindset is like, you can sell more pipes if you let people buy the tin. Like, if you buy the pipe, you can have access to purchase some tins. Like with the Christmas stuff, you had to buy, like they had 8 different blends, and you had to buy one pipe to get one tin. Like, I was like, why don't you just either buy a pipe, and then you can add on all 8 tins for like $40, and I guarantee you they're going to make some money doing that. Whereas if you only attach one, you're not going to sell all that many pipes. Nobody's going to buy 8 pipes. I mean, there may be some people that do, but good Lord, I'd love to have that kind of money. Anyway, before I get into another ramble about that crap. All right, well, have a good day. Sorry. Glad I could come on here again and bug everybody. And hey, if you aren't a subscriber, please subscribe. I got some stuff coming up that I hope you would want to be a part of. I'm not going to do a giveaway driven subscriber thing. I don't believe in artificially inflating your subscription base. I mean, I know some people do, and it works out well for a lot of people. So I'm not going to do giveaways purely for subscriber influx. But I'll talk more about that later. Until next time, have a great... Is it Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. I don't even know what day it is anymore.